Board of Commissioners is in session to conduct a Board of Equalization. Acting as Board of Equalization, Commissioner Daly and myself are present. Commissioner Davidson is currently absent. Before we start, we have a recording that we'd like to play for those that are here. Looks like we have at least one here. Go ahead and play the recording.
The purpose of this hearing is for the Board of Equalization, BOE, to provide taxpayers with an opportunity to appeal the assessed value placed on their property for taxing purposes. For each hearing, the appellant will be given 3 minutes to make their presentation, after which the appraiser will give a factual presentation on how the assessed value was established. Each appellant will then have a chance to provide a final 2-minute rebuttal. The board will then make a decision. Anyone wishing to give testimony will have to be sworn in. All motions made during these hearings will be made by the Board of Commissioners convened as the Board of Equalization. Pursuant to Idaho Code Section 63501A, only the property owner taxpayer or their legal counsel may appear before the Board of Equalization. You may, however, call witnesses to testify on your behalf within your allotted time frame. We are aware that some appellants may not be able to appear at their scheduled hearing due to our statutory time frame to hear appeals. However, the board does review and consider all documents and information provided when making our decisions. As set forth in Idaho Code 63502, the burden of proof falls to the taxpayer seeking relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous, including any determination of the assessed value. Otherwise, this board shall uphold the assessed value. It is important to note that if there is a reduction in your taxable value, it does not reduce resources to the governing entities, but in fact shifts the tax burden to other taxpayers in the district. Any adjustment made on your assessment will be in place for the current tax year only. Please understand, after the current tax year, the adjustment will be removed and your property value could change drastically if market conditions warrant it. If you are not satisfied with the BOE's decision, you will have an opportunity to appeal the decision to the Board of Tax Appeals or the District Court.
Okay, before we get started, anyone wishing to testify at today's hearing, you need to stand and be sworn in.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, looks like the first and only applicant this morning is Andrea Rosalt.
Morning.
Okay, you're up for the 9 o'clock and the 10 o'clock. Right now, we will take up parcel number R101-300-1251. You can take the podium or you can stay right where you're at. It's up to you.
If it's quite all right, I'll sit here. I'm only because if you saw me yesterday, you know I'm suffering from somewhat of a respiratory illness, and so it's just a little difficult today. But first of all, I've been working with the assessor's office on this valuation. This is an apartment complex under new construction. The apartment complex
Could
was
you get
not.
the mic a little closer?
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
I apologize. Is that better?
Yeah, it's being recorded, so it's, better.
Okay, thank you. I apologize, and I'll also
That's
try
right.
to.
Go ahead.
Thank you. As indicated, I've been working with the assessor's office. This is a new construction apartment complex. As of the assessment date, the apartment complex did not have a certificate of occupancy and construction was not completed. We did provide actual construction cost information to the assessor's office, and I believe we have an agreement relative to one part of the appeal, which is a reduction slightly to recognize that the construction costs that they're using in their model is a little bit higher than the construction costs that were actually incurred. The second issue that I'm still evaluating is the concept of putting this on the new construction roll before there's a certificate of occupancy and really before the building was completed. And so I believe I'd just like a little bit more time to evaluate that, but I believe that the assessor's office and the taxpayer have an agreement as to a minor reduction while I look at that issue and preserve that for appeal. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Ron DeRoost, Commercial Appraiser at the Ada County Assessor's Office. The subject property is the Arthur Apartments, which is a new high-rise luxury apartment building located on the southeast corner of 12th and Idaho in downtown Boise. There's a map on page 2 for your reference. The subject property was still under construction on January 1st, so it was valued using the cost approach. Based on the building permits as well as Marshall and Swift Guide, I estimated a cost of construction of $125,376,707. I conservatively estimated the building to be 90% complete on January 1st, which equates to an improvement value of $112,839,000. I did receive a call early in June from Jeremy Malone, a representative of the owner. I explained to him how I reached the value, and he stated their actual cost of construction was less. I asked him to send over the documentation to support that. I hadn't heard anything, but then I did receive the documentation from Ms. Rochalt, or her office, and did confirm that the estimate that I had was a little high. Their actual cost of construction as of January 1st was $107,078,700, and I did offer to reduce the improvement value to that value to match what their actual cost of construction was at that time.
Okay, and that was your understanding as well?
That's correct.
Yeah, all right. This will still give you time if you want to appeal to the Board of Tax Appeals, you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so is that your rebuttal?
Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, well, then I would accept the motion, and it seems as though our assessor has agreed to a total value of 107,078, and that would mean you would change the cost of construction to 109, is that it? 109,
628.
okay, 109, 628,
That's not quite correct.
107.
It's just the improvement value should be moved, changed to 107,078,700.
Okay, 107, 7,800, that would, wait a minute. If it's 107,
Yeah, 107,
you changed the
078,
total, you changed the
700.
total value to 107, is that it?
No, that's the improvement value.
Oh, adjusting the improvement value to 107, so what would you put the total value at then?
Let me get that for you. That would be 109,518,100.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm trying to get that figured out. You put 109, 5,800, the total, the improvement value. Huh. So what would be the total taxable value?
The total taxable value would be 109,518,100.
518.
Yes, sir.
518, 500. And the total improvement value, 107. And the,
The land would stay the same at 24,39,400.
so both the URD value and you're leaving the two land values the same there, correct?
Yes, sir.
376,900 and 2,062,500, correct?
Yes, we're not changing anything on the land.
Okay. No change. Okay, I would accept a motion.
If I understand this, I move that the Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Equalization, accept the assessor's modification and modify the valuation of parcel number R1013001251 to the, just changing the value of the construction value, right?
The improvement value. yes.
Improvement value to 107,078,739 for a total value of 109,518,100. Correct? Are those figures correct?
We round to 700, sorry,
700,
instead of 739.
700 instead of 739, okay. And authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board. Now, those figures were correct that I stated, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, we will next take up for consideration parcel number R1013000042.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. This building is obviously on 902 West Main. It's the Donna's Sauna building. As the assessor's office and I will discuss, the building had suffered a pretty substantial water loss. We did get a reduction last year that identified the $630,000 cost relative to that water loss. We are still in the process of obviously stabilizing since that loss occurred and the loss of the kind of tenant space, the expenses. The assessor's office sent me over their capitalization report, and they've requested income and other information that I'm still in the process of gathering. So at this point, my recommendation would be, I don't have a lot to offer in terms of I need to evaluate the expense ratio they're using. I need to evaluate the capitalization rate they're using, which I believe might be a little low. But I would just suggest at this point, just upholding the value and allowing us to evaluate that and determine whether or not further appeal is necessary.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Bill Dunlap. I'm a commercial appraiser at the Ada County Assessor's Office. The Sona building is located at 9th and Main Street in downtown Boise, a block from the city center. The building is a 3-story structure with retail use on the first floor. The property was reappraised in 2024 tax year. Upon appeal of the 2024 assessed value, the value of $7,361,400 was reduced by $650,000 to $6,711,400 for the estimated cost of remediation due to floodwater damage in late 2023. As it states on the first page at the bottom in bold, the tax year, 2025 tax year, total assessed value of $7,361,400 had a market value increase of 2.34%. It's a very low increase from the tax year of 2023, which was $7,193,100 due to the water damage that was incurred. And then I have there note that there was a 2023 tax year BOE appeal, but there was no change in the assessed value. If you look at page 1, at the bar graph at the top, you can kind of see the sequence of assessed values going up, and then in 2024 it drops. And then if you look below at the figures, at the numbers, you'll see that 2024 has that $650,000 reduction. And then basically going back to what 2023 was with a minor increase to $7,361,400. So that figure there where it says market change 24 to 25, 9.69, is also including that reduction for the water damage remediation. The actual increase from 23 to 25 was only 2.34%. So on page 2 is the income summary report, which shows the details of the calculations made to determine the assessed market value for 2025. The income approach was used based on market data for rents, expenses, vacancy, and capitalization rate to support the assessed value. So as you look at this page, you'll see that it really simplifies that all we're doing is we're taking the potential income, in other words, the rent times the square footage, and deducting out the expenses and the vacancy factor and the expenses, the vacancy factor, what's the third thing? And applying a capitalization rate to it, to that net operating income, to come up with a value. On page 3, we have a photo of, aerial photo, showing where the Sona building is, right there at City Center downtown, adjacent to the Zion building, and of course, it's also shown that City Center is right there, and US Bank. So this is a premier location for office in downtown Boise, and it reportedly has the highest rents and the lowest vacancy in the city of the downtown area. Okay. Okay. The following pages, page 5, it just lists the comparable rents that are in the area and how we came to our conclusion at the rent per square foot to come up with the potential gross income. And we'll go on to page 7, which shows the Collier's annual report for net absorption of office space, the cap rate at 6.1%, and the direction, most importantly, in the county, vacancy going down, the asking rate going up, and absorption going up of the vacant office space. And the last page is the legal structure that Ada County commercial appraisers operate under. We often refer to commercial property taxpayers to these statutes when they question our use of market data instead of actual rents, vacancy, and expenses to calculate the assessed value. Ada County uses market rents, expense ratios, cap rates, and vacancy factors to calculate the assessed value. I want to make just one other note that on the appellant's form for the appeal, it states that the assessed value is not supported by the NOI and other factors, including stabilization from the water infiltration and associated expense. Ada County sets market value based upon 100% occupancy less the vacancy factor, regardless of what the actual vacancy is in the office building.
Okay, so you're not recommending any changes to the assessed value?
After review of the market data and income approach used for the assessed value, we recommend there be no change in assessed value.
Okay, and you're suggesting go ahead and for us to accept it, and then if you, after you analyze it further, you may or may not appeal?
That's correct. I still believe that some of the valuations are a little high, but I'd like the ability to continue to evaluate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
'Cause you'll have more time, of course, and you know that. Okay, all right. Any questions of the assessor or the applicant? Okay, I'll accept a motion. Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll move that the Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Equalization, uphold the assessor's valuation on parcel number R10130000042 and authorize the chairman to sign the document on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll now take up parcel number S 5420. Okay? That is the next one up. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Commissioners, the next several appeals that you're going to hear all concern our self-storage facilities under Republic Storage of Idaho. These facilities, we appealed these evaluations last year under very similar circumstances. Those are pending before the district court. Last year, one of the things that we did here, and one of the things I would recommend is there are very nuanced issues that we're addressing relative to these facilities. For instance, this 9033 West Chinden is by far our oldest, one of our older facilities with substantial deferred maintenance. We've taken the assessor's office out to the property in an attempt to get a reduction in the valuation, recognizing that somebody, your market buyer is going to take a look at this substantial deferred maintenance, the roof issues, the door issues, concrete issues, some of the, like the security, the location issues in determining market value. As it relates to these properties, in each of these appeals that you're going to see, there's really kind of three issues. A deferred maintenance adjustment, whether that be through rates or capitalization rate, recognizing how a buyer is going to look at a single facility. The way that they are valuing the land on our outside parking, and just some other issues. Again, most of these issues are pending before the district court from the last tax case, so I'm not sure how the BOE wants to handle it. If you want to allow us to, kind of move forward to this process and consolidate these two appeals so that we can get kind of, one final decision, or you want to hear each single appeal, it's going to be the exact same discussion. So I'll defer to you on how you'd like to handle that. But we would be okay with, again, on all of these, upholding the values and giving us the opportunity to address this in district court.
So you're in district court right now on these cases? You went to the Board of Tax Appeals and then you took it to court?
As it's last year's valuations, that's correct.
All right, so you've already been through the Board of Tax Appeals,
That's correct.
and then you went to district court, and you're under hearing right now.
That's correct.
So you would prefer that that these be consolidated so you can hear them all at the same time? Is that what I'm hearing?
I just believe that, like I said, they're very this is not meant in disrespect at all. They're just very complex issues that are, going to take experts and, all sorts of things to kind of work through as we work with the
We don't
assessors.
take any, we don't, you can go, we understand, we understand. In fact, I do think we ought to maybe modify our appeals process for these commercial properties because they are more complex and we only have a short period of time, and it's much better for the applicant if you can take the time that's necessary in the Board of Tax Appeals and/or in district court. And so,
Yeah, I agree entirely.
I get that. That's not disrespectful at all. I get that. In fact, I would rather that you be able to take more time, but the law doesn't allow us to give you more time with our assessor staff to do this, but the law doesn't allow that. We have this much time to complete this process. And what does our assessor staff suggest? Do you agree with the analysis?
Yes, sir. We would prefer these were just values upheld and pushed on to a consolidation with the district court case.
All right, so which ones? We can do them all at the same time if you'd like. Which ones? We got the
All the next ones.
420, 360, which are,
All of Twin Islands, is that?
That's correct.
Yes, sir. Yes.
oh, so all the Twin Island ones.
Yeah. So all 10 remaining.
Oh, all the 10 remaining?
Yes, sir.
As
Even
long,
the-
as long as Mr. Church will provide me with his beautiful presentations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Well, he can do that.
okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
So can I ask you, just, out of curiosity, how far apart were you from the assessor's office on the depreciation? I mean, what's really the nature of the disagreement?
yeah. And so the nature of the disagreement, in this case, for instance, our opinion of value is 1.8 million. Their opinion of value is 2,119,900. I mean, we're not horrifically far off. If I don't want to speak for Mr. Church, but I believe they're attempting to reflect deferred maintenance in how they're classifying the facilities and giving like kind of like a 1% overall capital improvement like expense into their ratio. Like I said, the actual reality of our facilities is that within the next 5 years, we're going to have substantial expenses. And so that's kind of one of the issues. The second issue is just really related to how we're valuing the land where these open air parking cars sit. So really like kind of two primary issues.
Is your appeal, is it very specific to your property, or are you sort of challenging the methodology that they use for all similar type of properties?
As it relates to the deferred maintenance issues relative to our properties are very specific. As it relates to, well, even the outside parking is pretty specific too. They're not capitalizing the income on outside parking, they're just valuing the land, and we're just in a disagreement on the actual underlying value of that land. In both cases, in 2024 and 2025.
Okay, thank you. So we would need to have all this on the record, which I'm going to suggest that by unanimous consent, we take up all the Twin Island properties that's listed on the agenda, and that we hear from our assessor to give us their viewpoints as well. And then if the vote is to uphold it, then you can proceed to consolidate that's your wishes, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And I think I've got it sufficient on the record, because we'd need to have all the documents and so forth on the record, and we will do that. And then we can do this in one motion.
Okay, great.
Okay, if you could give us the documentation, so we'll just complete this in one motion, and we'll get this wrapped up.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, no worries.
Well, that's fine. We'll take them all. Well, we'll allow Matt to get them in order.
Thank you.
Yeah. As soon as we get them all, we'll proceed, and I hope one of you is ready with a motion, because the idea would be, we would take them all up in one motion and confirm the assessor's valuation, and that gives the applicant plenty of time to appeal and even consolidate, which would probably be better to get them all done in a consolidation. And then you can have all the time you need in front of a judge.
All the time he allows.
All the time the judge allows, anyway. But the judge is not constrained by the time frame and the law that we are. All right, you ready? Which one are you going to make a motion? I don't care.
You can just read them all.
Read them all. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Commissioners sitting as the Board of Equalization uphold the assessor's evaluation on parcels number S0525325420, S0526131360, S0526417210, S1027131392, S1027131600, R1894420070, R9313130005, S1214142120, S1213142042, and S1213142044, and authorize the chair to sign the documents sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? And just to clarify, we're doing this at the applicant's request to consolidate all of these, and because you already have a previous discussion in the court, and you can then request the court to add these to the file, correct?
Yes, sir.
And all parties agree? All right.
That's correct.
Well, hey, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Now, we do have a number of withdrawn with changes and withdrawn, no changes, and changes, no hearing. No changes, no hearing. I'll accept a motion on the balance of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that the Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Equalization, approve the changes on the parcels listed under withdrawn changes and changes no hearing, uphold the valuations on parcels listed under withdrawn, no changes, and no changes, no hearing, and authorize the chairman to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's see, do we have anything scheduled in the morning?
Not with us.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we are adjourned.